Hey, good morning, everyone. Sorry for the later start here. It is November 20th, right? It's Monday, November 20th. Hope you're all doing well. Happy start to the week, everyone. Um, this week, before we get this thing rolling and started, what I do want to say is that it's going to be a shorter week, right? We've got Thanksgiving that's coming up in the U.S. right on Thursday, and Thursday markets are closed. Friday they're going to be closed as well. They close at an earlier time, so I believe a lot of people are going to be focused on spending time with their families, which is right expected during these holiday seasons. So I want everyone to have an amazing holiday season. Market's going to be open 3 days this week. It's going to be very muted movement in my perspective, so you got to be very careful with that. We're going to be trading in our live trading room these 3 days, but we're going to be closed on Thursday and Friday, meaning no YouTube updates on Thursday and Friday. Now, another thing to add to this is that we're still hosting our Black Friday Cyber Monday deal, right? First month at TRADEPRO Academy is $49. So what we're doing with that is in preparation. I want to welcome you all to live classes of futures and DOM trading over the next 2 days. So that means Tuesday, November 21st and Wednesday, November 22nd, live here on YouTube, where we're going to be breaking down first the footprint and its use in a live environment, looking at different things that come up right on the market in live moving markets. And right throughout this, we'll have a Q&A, so you guys can ask me any questions you want. The same thing for Wednesday with the depth of market. So I hope to see you all there realistically as we get ready for this week. And our Black Friday deal is going to run into the beginning of September, where at the start of December. At the start of December, starting December 4th, we're going to be hosting a live psychology course for everyone that is on board. So with that being said, right, that little spiel, why don't we dive into what is going on with these markets? Because a lot of news came out from the C-suite. OpenAI mainly on the news front, right? It's been a weekend full of Sam Altman and OpenAI on Twitter feeds, on social media feeds, so on and so forth, right? Classic Silicon Valley tale, they say, but reverberations are still being heard across the investing world. Sam Altman's bid to return to OpenAI after being ousted late on Friday has failed, with the board not agreeing to the proposed terms of his reinstallment in a drama-filled weekend. Instead, Emmett Shear, the former CEO of Twitch actually, and a prior partner to Sam Altman's startup accelerator Y Combinator, has been named interim CEO, while Altman, as well as OpenAI president and co-founder Craig Brockman, have found a new home at Microsoft. So what happened? Since its founding in 2015, OpenAI's mission has been to develop cutting-edge AI technologies that would benefit humanity as a whole, unconstrained by a need to generate financial return. Only a few years later, the nonprofit formed a capped profit subsidiary, call it what you will, which eventually helped it attract billions of dollars in investment that were needed to help develop large language models, ChatGPT, and other expensive generative AI offerings. So top talent was secured, equity was distributed to employees, and it was now able to commercially license its technology. But the schism was growing between Altman and the board, skeptical of corporate expansion. So during talks over the weekend, reports suggested that Altman, with the backing of Microsoft, proposed a series of notable tech executives to lead a new board more aligned with their business vision. So names include Brett Taylor, a former co-CEO of Salesforce CRM, Airbnb CEO Brian Chesky, and Sheryl Sandberg, the former COO of Meta. However, if OpenAI's board was concerned about Altman's lack of candor in communications and commitment to the ethical AI development, the pitch only reinforced their position. So sources also say that Altman had recently devised plans for two business endeavors, including a Joni Ived led, I don't really know what that is, but a consumer hardware unit and a low-cost chip venture that would be used to train AI models, as well as publicized projects like the GPT App Store and crypto scheme WorldCoin. So As negotiations failed, Microsoft stepped in to secure much of the talent behind its reported $13 billion investment in OpenAI, which some say gave it a 49% stake in the company that recently was valued at $86 billion. And Microsoft then brought both Altman and Brockman into the ranks to lead its new advanced AI research team, a step seen as necessary to preserve generative AI secrets and keep the technology in-house. So we look forward to moving quickly to provide them with the resources needed for their success. This is what Nadella, the CEO, said. He wrote this on X, and it looks to lead the AI revolution and cash in on its promise. So Altman is sure to remain a force within the AI markets, as many are likening the situation to the 1985 ouster of Steve Jobs, who eventually returned and paved the way for Apple to become the most valuable company in the US. Now, Microsoft intends to level up by integrating emerging AI technology within all of its products, such as its Bing search engine, Microsoft 365, GitHub, I don't know what it's called, coding tools, and Azure Cloud. So it remains to be seen what will be achieved realistically throughout this. Now, there are some other news events floating around other CEOs, right, in terms of Tesla as well. Some longtime Tesla shareholders and supporters have criticized Elon Musk over his support of an anti-Semitic post on X, which led to companies pausing their ads on the platform, including Apple, IBM. There was other ones. Sorry, there's a hair. There was a long list of them, actually. Tesla shareholders and future fund co-founder Gary Black warned that Musk's comments could alienate part of the consumer and customer base and could hurt the company's valuation over the long term, while activist investor Nia Impact Capitalist head Kristen Hull said the inaction of Tesla's board was concerning, right, based on this. So we'll see how that shapes up. Realistically, I haven't seen too much movement in Tesla leading up into this. And we also have Disney CEO, right, pressures mounting on Bob Iger, who retook the helm exactly a year ago in an overhaul to include job cuts prioritizing streaming profitability, and the stock has largely flatlined since. But investors are hoping that Iger's upcoming town hall will discuss future opportunities for the company and give a clearer picture of his plans. Some shareholders aren't too happy with Iger, and activist Nelson Peltz with ex-Marvel head Isaac Perlmutter's support is threatening a proxy fight. Investing group leader also suggests that Disney is rated as a hold more so than long-term opportunities. One of the individual names that hasn't necessarily seen a broader rally with the remainder of equities. So why don't we jump into what we have here on the screens as we went through a decent bit of news this morning. We're in a 3-day week, right? Markets are closed Thursday. They're open for a few hours on Friday, right? That gap between Thursday and Friday on the overnight. I highly suggest that you don't get very active this week. I'm probably going to be trading extreme baby size. I don't even want to trade this week. I don't know what the opportunity is going to look like, because we're still in this larger balance that sits between 4,503, right? That is the barrier low, plus or minus a few handles, and 45.35.37 is the top end, plus or minus a few handles. I could see that prices, I think that there's a little more upside momentum that would cause a rally before any real selling takes hold. And I could see that between 45.60 and 68, I would say, into that region. That would be a breakout top little head fake before we could start to see some sellers come into this. I'm not super bearish on this. I think they had their chance last week and failed to break through the distribution lows. There's a lot of area to fill lower on the S&P 500 as the tech space is continuously bullish to clean up some of the auction below. But as it stands, I'm just going to be trading the base levels as we sit within the distribution until we accept outside of the distribution. So meaning the high 30s are going to be resistance. This mid 20 is immediate area. Also the 8 to 12 is an immediate area. And then the 4,500, 4,503. Those four levels in this 30 block distribution area are going to be the most important areas that you have. Above you have that 45, 60, 65, 68 area. Below you can come down and target these mid 80s. And then the high 60s, mid 70s. So I'll leave you with that. Let's start this short week. Let's open up our